All Talks of Life. What's good, homies?
What's the word?
What's the word, dude? The word. Today, bro, I was thinking a lot of just confidence and fear and where that stems from, how we got it from, where we got our confidence from, and I guess fear too, if there was someone around us that caused some fear onto our lives, or a certain situation or experiences that we were in that caused us like kind of to be afraid of certain things, you know? So I guess let's start on confidence. Where did you get your confidence from? Where do you like, yeah.
I mean, probably just within myself. Honestly, I don't know. That's something I had to actually like think about.
Yeah.
Where do you get your confidence from? Honestly, it's just probably like, for me, just a mind thing.
Well, let's start from like when you were younger. Like, was there a little moment that, or were you always confident? Would you consider yourself a confident person?
Most of the time, depending on what I'm doing. If it's something new, then no. You know, you gotta kind of ease your way into that a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, but as far as, I'm not even sure. I'd have to actually like sit down and actually think about that.
We're sitting down and thinking about it right now.
Yeah, like, where do I get my confidence from?
For sure, dude.
I mean, some people get confidence after getting a haircut.
Sure.
Like, they get their haircut and they're like, oh shit, I feel 10 times more confident than I did without a haircut. So that can be something too.
Do you think cutting hair and kind of getting people crispy, getting people feeling good, getting out of your chair, kind of you got confidence from that skill, from that talent, you know?
No, not really. But I mean, like when people come in here before a job interview, they get a haircut. They go into that job a little bit more confident because they're like, you know, I'm clean.
Sure.
I might get the job. A little bit more confident what they did when they look like, you know, Vic or something.
not as Chris says right away. No. Sure. Do you think you could get do you think you can get confidence from someone in the chair? Like feed off of somebody's confidence that gets in your chair. Maybe they from just accomplished something, and then now you think you can do
can't do. Yeah, like even before a barber competition, you know, people just encourage you.
Sure.
And that kind of boosts your confidence a little more because, I mean, you got other people that believe in you. Or they're like, okay, yeah, now you can do it. You'll probably take first place or whatever it is you're doing.
So other people believing in you.
Yeah, it can boost your confidence for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. That's like with anything. Like even like kind of like with the pod, you know, the more people that tune in, it builds the confidence to keep on going for the podcast and things like that.
Finding value in what you're producing or what you're doing in that moment.
Yeah. So I guess it's people can actually boost it for you, your confidence. I think it all just depends on what exactly you're doing. There's different types of things that you can get confidence through. When you go to a bar, I mean, do you have the confidence to go up to a girl? Sometimes it just takes alcohol, you know.
Sure.
But with the podcast, there's more people tuning in. When you go out, you have a haircut. It kind of boosts your confidence a little bit more.
Or a smooth fit.
Yeah, it fits, shoes and everything. So, yeah, I mean, it can stem from a lot of different things. Confidence, for sure.
For sure, I feel that too. I feel like my confidence doesn't come from my fits, but like if I have a smooth fit on, I feel a little bit more expressive because I'm expressing myself with my fit, right? So I'm wearing kind of what I like, what I feel good in. So when I go out, I'm just like, okay, cool. Like I feel like myself, and I feel confident when I feel myself. You know, or comfortable to be myself. Like I'm like, okay, cool. I can chill. I'm not like tense. You know, your shoulders are, you know, like not. You know, I feel myself. So I feel confident with my fits like that.
Yeah.
For sure. That's cool. How about you?
It's just coming in myself, you know. You just gotta believe in yourself, because you know you can't have a negative mindset. If you have a negative mindset, you're not gonna be confident in yourself.
Where did you get a quote unquote positive mindset?
Just life itself. Just the things you go through. The wins, the losses you take, and then at the end of the day, it just builds up confidence from there. Because you're like, man, even if you don't succeed or something, I still had confidence in myself because I'm gonna bounce back.
Sure. Is there any specific win or loss in your mind right now that you could think of that you were willing to express that you gained confidence from?
It's just like, I lost my job. I crashed my car in the same week before 3 years ago.
So kind of a bunch of things leading up to one.
Yeah.
And kind of getting through it and knowing that you can get through it.
Like the whole year of 2019, I took losses like almost every month, from a friend's death to it's just everything each month. But it gave me confidence because I'm going through the losses. It's going to be all right.
Ooh, okay.
you know, it's giving me confidence because, like, man, if I ever go through a situation again, or I can look back and I'm confident in myself because I'm like, man, I already been through that. Big.
Cool.
Like you know,
like you made it. Like you made it through those hard
You
times, so you find confidence through persevering through all these hard things that happen in your life.
Like
That's
you
cool.
went through the storm.
Yeah.
Just weather the
Like
storm.
you're like, I got through this before.
Yeah,
I
like,
can do it again.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And if it ever comes up again, it's like, man, I already know. I've been through this position before.
Yeah.
I handled it well, and I know what to do better.
Sure. That's cool, man. I like
I
that.
agree with that.
I feel like it does stem from like when we're younger too, like between who we're around and if they have confidence for you to go do something great, or if they're building you up, or if they're being confident in your presence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing that I'm thinking about right now is like my pops. My pops was always very himself and very willing to communicate with anyone and express himself to anyone. Like no matter if he's seen him 10 years ago or if he's seen him last year, or you know what I'm saying. Regardless, and it would still be him, right? So I would be right next to him or around him while he's interacting with some people, and I'm like watching him because us kids, or we as humans, are always watching, always learning, right? So I used to watch him and just kind of do his thing and talk and be himself and all this stuff, you know? Kind of not really care about what anyone else is thinking or saying. He's still going to just talk or laugh or be himself. So I like watched that and I was like, oh, okay. And I feel like all my brothers kind of watch that too, and that's why we always, or not always, but we like to talk. We kind of have that kind of confidence to express ourselves because my pops always expressed himself. You know what I'm saying? He was always like very strong in that fact.
You're an expressive person. Yeah, it kind of shows you're pretty expressive yourself. With things that you do.
Yeah, the thing that
you've done.
Yeah, the thing that I struggled with was kind of finding confidence in the things that I was saying. Like, were the things that I was saying, did they have value? Could they help? You know what I'm saying? Or you know, what would people think about them if I said this or if I said that? Like, what would people think? And it kind of took me a couple years to kind of find that confidence within myself through like understanding what I'm expressing, kind of understanding what I'm saying. Like, oh, okay, I definitely understand how like someone else could benefit from this, or how I benefited from this, and I think other people could. You know, so it's like I found that confidence in my voice through trial and error. You know, by talking a lot. Sometimes I talk too much, but you know, I'm kind of finding my groove and my rhythm. You know.
Hey, yeah, that's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Find your purpose.
Yeah. Were you always confident to talk to people in chairs?
Hell no.
You know, like, how did that first conversation look like
Honestly,
for you with those people? You know, when you were 15, 14, 13, whatever you were cutting up?
Honestly, I was quiet. I didn't really talk to people. I mean, it takes people to talk to you, and then you kind of learn, like, at a young age. I mean, there's really nothing to conversate about because you haven't gone through a lot.
Sure.
Some people might have gone through a lot, but me personally, I just started cutting, and I was like, there's nothing. I didn't connect with them right away because they were all walk-ins. You know, I didn't know if I was going to see them again after that. But
Sure.
once I started building relationships with each person that used to come back, definitely the confidence was there because, you know, we had something to talk about. It was something different every time. But, yeah, just kind of communicating with them, talking to them, kind of build my confidence a little bit more.
Did that take a couple years? You know,
yeah,
like...
it took probably 2 years. And then with the guys in the shop, because I was quiet in the shop too. I mean, I would talk to some of them. But yeah, and at first I was super quiet. I just like to myself. I just went there to work. Pretty much go there, get money, and then be gone.
Yeah, two things I'm thinking is like, obviously you had to learn the craft too, right? Mm-hmm. Like once I first started wrestling, I didn't just start like skipping with my head like loose onto the mat. Like I was like, you know, like looking at my opponent, walking up like, you know, like I didn't have that right away. You know, that like, oh, I know I'm about to like destroy, you know, mess him up. Like I didn't know that right away. I had to find that through trial and error. And
with cutting hair, I mean, I was surrounded by a lot of good barbers, so my confidence in there was super low.
Sure. But
like when I was cutting, I was in the front station, and that's where I've been.
I remember
every time. So like being in the front station, I mean, it's real intimidating. You get people that come in, so everybody's seen your haircuts. I was not confident at all. But
that pushed you to be sharp, right?
Hell yeah, because they would sit there and talk shit about the haircut, and I'm like,
The people that sat there or the other barbers?
No, probably everybody.
They walked out their parents at the crib.
Yeah, I used to cut them up and I didn't even show them the haircut. I was like, I just go like leave out the door real quick so they don't see. Sure. But then little by little they would start watching and then they would be like, hey, that's a good cut. And then started building my confidence.
Sure, little by little each compliment and stuff.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool to see. And then the progression of cutting.
Ooh, I got a question though, real quick. How did you not allow the constructive criticism to destroy you / hinder your growth and ability to move forward and use that to fuel you and get you to where you are today, right now?
Honestly, I mean, I think criticism like that is necessary and it's needed. You're in an environment with all men most of the time. Everybody's like showing the shit, so it's actually pretty cool. You learn from that. Like when you first started, you gotta take stuff like that.
Yeah,
you're a rookie in the barbershop, so you're gonna take all of the joking around. You can't take it serious, and it builds character in you too.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty cool. Like when I was going through that, like they sit there and like, man, he fucked him up, and in my head I'm like, damn, I did fuck him up.
Yeah, and kind of not want to do that next time.
It's just part of the shop. It's part of a barbershop, and I feel like a lot of people probably go through that.
For sure.
But definitely that type of, like, when people are doing that, I mean, it kind of knocks you down a little bit, but honestly, it kind of, like, motivates you.
Yeah, it fuels the fire. I mean, you could allow it to fuel the fire, or you could allow it to kind of put out the fire.
It makes you definitely feel like, okay, I got to step it up.
Yeah.
And especially being in a shop with all good barbers. Like, at the time, we had, I think we had the best shop. There was
monsters in there, dude.
Man, everybody in that shop was good. Everybody was good to learn from. Everybody cut different. So like seeing that and everybody just talking about the haircuts when they're coming out bad, I'm like, all right, let me start looking a little more. Let me start watching.
Sure.
And then watching and then start using some of their stuff into my haircuts and then just kind of building your own technique. It definitely helped me a lot. I built my confidence that way too. Once I started seeing the progression and then they come up and like, oh yeah, that's a really good cut. Take a picture of that one.
Sure.
Because I didn't take pictures of none of my haircuts really. I just was like, to me, every haircut was bad. I didn't really try to think like, oh, that was a good haircut. Until I started getting a little bit older.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta kind of push yourself, like, because it's like they say once an actor wins a Grammy, kind of their vibe or their, sometimes, if they're not one of the, top notch, but sometimes goes down, decreases a little bit their drive because they're like, okay, I made it to the top of the mountain.
But you're
now
still learning.
What else is there?
You're still learning all the time. Like even having clients come back to you, that feels really good too. Like even when I stopped cutting hair for like the last 2 years, building that clientele back was kind of hard. But now I'm like, people are hitting me up that I cut years ago and they're like, oh, you're back cutting hair. It's pretty cool to see. So now I'm starting to get it back, but yeah, that's cool. Like people believe in me and they want to come back to me now. Kind of boosts your confidence too.
Yeah,
okay,
for
I
sure.
Start, sticking to it a little more.
Yeah, for sure. And all those good memories that you have with cutting up and like stuff like that comes with it, because you almost turned it into a lifestyle and kind of that was your family, right? At a certain point, that was your family, and you like.
Yeah, every time you're in that shop, everybody's like, well, depending on how long you stick with the guys for. But these guys that I've been around now, I know them probably for like 8 or 9 years. So yeah, it's pretty much like family now. I don't see myself going anywhere else unless it's with them.
That's smooth though, bro, because you guys are you created a family and you're growing together, going through things together, and you're doing something that you guys love to do together and like creating a dope ass environment.
And even with clients, like you would get clients that come in. Back then it was a lot different. Clients would come in and just kick it all day. Just
dude.
Chill with the barber. Now it's a little bit different. But even when you come into the shop, you see like his client says what up to everybody, and then this vice versa. You don't mind. Sure. You guys say to all the barbers, and then it kind of creates like that family type of environment within clients and barbers. So that's pretty cool to see too. But yeah, definitely back to when I first started cutting hair. Yeah, that shit was
rough to get that confidence going.
Oh yeah, bro. I remember people used to walk out on me.
Mid cut?
No, not mid cut. Like I knew the haircut was bad, and I was like, fuck, they would just leave, and I'm like, all right.
Like they would pay you?
Hell no.
Oh, dude. Did you take offense to that?
No, I ain't take offense to it because
I still just did.
I mean, I did the work, but I mean, as when I would see them next time, I wouldn't cut their hair. you know, I mean, I was just learning. But I mean, I get it. You know,
Yeah.
you come into a barbershop expecting to get a good cut, but you got a 14-year-old cutting you. Like, yeah. So I was,
But you kind of like, if you're allowing a 14-year-old to cut you up, you kind of like are kind of wanting him, like you're giving him that chance to get that experience, right? So that he can get better. Like instead of looking at, oh, now I got a messed up cut, nah, I'm gonna go here or there. I get it. Sometimes cuts are very important to people, but also helping that younger generation that's coming up. Like you at the time, like instead of piecing, you were walking out, and be like, man, I just wish, you know, maybe you did a little bit like, less over here, maybe left a little more on top, you know, instead of just walking out and not doing a tip. Like you're still trying your hardest, right?
yeah, I was trying my hardest.
You're trying your hardest. See, that's what I'm saying.
You know, I was like,
that's what I'm saying. That's
I was a little nervous at first too, but then it's crazy because I have, from when I was 14 to now, I still got clients that have came to me since day one to now.
Sure.
And I'm like, damn, that shit crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy, and that builds a good relationship. Like even those type of people, like when I was cutting hair in my house, I would have them come to my house and I'll cut them up. But yeah, that's cool. You know, they stuck with me, so I'm like, I'll stick with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything happens, I'll let them know ahead of time or whatever. But yeah,
that's awesome, dude. And that's cool. I feel like that's easier to find confidence when you are in a situation like that. Where I'm not saying it's easy, but you had a couple other people to learn off of and kind of had, you know, like a good platform to start going when some people don't even have that platform, you know?
I mean, like, I started in the barbershop at like, what was it, 13?
But you were sweeping,
right?
Yeah, sweeping.
Hell yeah, I was going Friday and Saturday. They were only paying me $20 for both days.
$10 a day?
That shit was like slave work. But at the time, I mean, shit, you can buy anything with $20. Now it's like.
But see, that's the thing, bro. It's not even in that moment. It's not even about the money, right? It's about the vibe.
Well, no, not even
watching
the vibe.
them cut their hair. No, I'm saying watching them cut their hair or people's hair. Watching how they interact with people.
It was definitely more of an experience that I enjoyed. Yeah. That's why I kept coming back. And then when I just watched, you know, I just in my head I was like, damn, it's pretty cool to be here. You know, you're around all guys. You hear a lot of different stories.
Yeah.
So it's like the last one that we talked about, the last podcast we talked, you know, you learn a lot of different experiences from different people. And at the time where the shop was located, you know, we were kind of in the hood. So, like, you get, like...
Everybody walking in.
You get, like, a good mix of people. You get people from, like, lawyers and shit like that coming in, doctors. And you get people that are just in the streets, you know. It's different. You learn different stories from everybody. So that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, dude, I feel like that's kind of almost a cheat code, bro. Like, you get to talk to so many different people every day. Like, that's money, because that's how we learn, right? That's how we expand our minds.
And then, honestly, it's like, I don't like being in the same spot. But, I mean, in a barbershop, you're in the same spot, but you're not.
Yeah, it's different.
Like, every single person that comes through the door and sits in their chair has something different to say.
Yeah.
So it's like you're seeing different things, but you're in the same place. You know,
yeah, for sure.
Stories are crazy.
And that's the thing is, like, we're electromagnetic beings, okay? So we do resonate vibes off of us. So you're getting so many different vibes with so many different people with different fields around them, right? So it might be stress, it might be anxiety, it might be super happy, about to go to a wedding, about to get married, about to be a funeral maybe. Like, you have so many different vibes coming to sit in your chair, which opens up the opportunity for you to connect and understand their perspective in that moment, right? The excitement of a wedding, the sadness of someone passing, right? Or a new job. You know, like, you get to experience that with them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You have the opportunity to create that, right? So that's a damn cheat code, dude. That's smooth.
Yeah, being a barber, you learn a lot. You get a lot of connections.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's like from what you do, and then you were doing the RV, and then you switch back to what you're doing, and that was another experience that you learned that I would have never known about any of the stuff that you had going on with that type of job, and now I know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
To, like, even people like Tommy and them, you know, their family is a lot different, and other people that I cut up, their whole thing is a lot different.
For sure. I think for me it was the working with the older guys. You know, like I was working with, I was the youngest always. I started when I was like 19, and everybody was at least 30 plus. Or like 30, 40, 45, 50, 62, like a wide range of ages, you know, and I'm 19 just again, look down upon because of my age and like, oh, I don't know nothing at the time, didn't have confidence in my work that I'm doing. Like now I go to work, I got that confidence in what I'm about to produce, how
You
I
teach
hook it
the older
up.
people sometimes.
I teach the older people a lot of the times, and not only just teaching them what I'm doing, but like how to do it in a sense, like how to be throughout that experience. Like when the customer comes up and asks us for something or asks us a question or whatever, instead of being like very short with it, like I'm like, oh hey, like I look at them, I connect with them, like yeah, we can get that, or if not, I'm like, oh, I'm not quite sure, like I'll have to see, but I'll definitely find out for you. Like kind of showing them how to interact with customers, and customers like sometimes it's a night and day to them. They hear me open my mouth and they'll like look up, like because they're expecting me, you know,
To not know as much.
maybe not know as much, but be a little bit less of a vibe because of my age, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this dude, you know, I like normally younger people in that field don't have that confidence yet because they didn't. I had the chance to get so much experience from so many good technicians above me, you know, good people above me, that like I can carry that along with me to now do some new job sites and stuff like that. Sometimes people don't think that younger people are going to come with that confidence. But when you do, it's kind of a breath of fresh air, you know,
Oh, yeah,
because they're
that's
thinking,
nice.
oh, this dude ain't about to, he's about to mess up my system, or he doesn't really know, but like,
Nowadays, that's what it is, though. The young generation's taking over for a lot of the stuff that's happening.
because
So
we're
everything-
starting to find confidence within ourselves, bro. You
Confidence
know?
ain't just doing it. You know, you just got to do something.
Yeah, literally, just do it enough times to where like you
Trial and
create
error,
a
trial
positive
and error.
pattern.
Yeah.
You know, trial and error, see what works, see what fits, see what you feel good doing.
Like, how many times have you messed up somebody's alarm system? Or you messed up and you're like, fuck. But
Yeah,
you know you got to find a way to fix it.
you gotta, yeah, and that's the thing is like
Like, how do you
sometimes
solve
we
it?
can't mess up because like we don't have extra parts,
Oh, yeah.
right? So we gotta be on
Point.
But if you know, say I drill a hole through a wall into like in their living room or something. This is a hypothetical. I've never done this before, but if I did, like, to go up to the customer and be like, I messed up. I drilled through your wall. Dude. Like, you know, and that alone,
Be like-
it brings confidence in your failures too.
Yeah.
To be confident enough to be like,
At
oh,
least
I
you went
messed
up to
up,
them.
dude. I'm so
Yeah.
I messed up.
You're
I'm
confident
so
enough to
sorry.
go up to them,
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that's
You build up confidence from admitting to your faults and failures.
Hey, that's funny.
That's kind of what you were saying too, like trial and error, going through those things, knowing you're gonna make it because you've gotten through hard times. It's confidence through the you know, mess ups. You know,
That's like when I messed up somebody's haircut, and I was like, bro, how am I gonna tell them?
Yeah, dude.
So I had
Literally,
to catch a little moment, and then I had to, like, you know,
figure out how to say it in your head.
because the haircut was done. It was a good ass haircut, except you know,
the
I
feet.
kind of placed the little comb in the wrong angle, and when I like took the picture over it like swiped, and it was a bald spot. And in my head, I was like, my confidence went down. I was like, because I had to, I think it was Dave at the time. He was behind me, and he looked at me and started laughing. I was like, damn, bro, like, I just fucked up.
What did you do
But,
to fix that?
So what I did was, before I turned him around, I looked at him. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm about to give you like 2 free haircuts.
I'm about to give you 2 free haircuts.
So then I turned him around to spin him, and he's like,
Oh,
why?
that's
and
funny.
Then he looked, and it was like right here, and it's a bad spot to like.
Because
like,
you can't. It's hard to fix.
You gotta give him like a skin, like a high
Like a
skin
high-
fade at that time. So he had a mid fade,
Top fade.
and he looked, and he was like, oh my god, like. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna have to just redo this haircut. So I did, gave him 2 free haircuts, and I've never seen him after that.
He
I
took
was
the free haircuts on.
He took the free,
everything.
he took the free haircuts and never came back.
I'm surprised he took the
But
free
bro, the
haircuts.
haircut was good. It was just that was
The haircut was
was
good,
just
but the
the one
spot
spot.
wasn't.
that was like one of the last times I ever fucked up.
So at what
and it was
point-
just it was on my, it was my fault for, you know, I should have known to turn the chair a little bit more and look at a different angle
Sure.
instead of being behind him, and then it was.
Yeah, but you
bad.
learn, and on next time you don't.
Oh, yeah,
do
so
that.
now
now
you-
you turn the chair, you reposition. But at what point do you just spray that black fake
Hell
hair
no.
stuff over it?
Because when they go home in the shower, they're gonna be like, the
Yeah,
fuck?
dude.
I mean, I could just be like, you have alopecia. That might work.
Oh my gosh.
But no, yeah, that was. Man, that was bad.
Man. through those like expressions right there, did you think of a time where maybe you found confidence or
When I first started my sprinkler job, oh my god, like
sprinkler fitting, right?
Yeah, you know, just irrigation outside and all that. Man, I had like at first I didn't have no confidence. 'Cause I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, oh, I'm so new to this. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And I remember in my job they just throw you in the fire.
For sure. That's
Like,
how we learn sometimes.
Yeah, they just throw me in the fire. So my foreman didn't really teach me nothing. So I wasn't really learning from the guys and all that.
And they didn't want to teach you?
I don't know if they didn't want to teach me. Like, they'll show me once, but then the thing I
think it's like every job
they just think you need to get it down right away and all that. And I didn't get it down right away. Sometimes I put the head a little too high, a little too low.
Sure.
You know, and then like my boss found out and everything. You know, yelled at me. Just gave me this ultimatum. Just snapping on me like.
What did you say? Did you were like, yo, no?
I was just like, yo, no one showed me. You know, you got projects going on. I know you got projects going on. So like, you guys don't got time to teach me, train me. So it's like, why are you yelling? You know, I'm finna fuck up. I'm new.
Yeah.
When you got a new employee, they ain't gonna have things.
They're not gonna be
perfect,
down packed right
and
away.
everything. Yeah,
Just make sure the individuals around them are willing to uplift them, train them as necessary, and move forward. But how did you move past that moment? Like, how did you that criticism from him coming at you? How'd that make you feel and what you do?
Like at first, I'm like, man, I'm about to quit this fucking job. Cause like,
so first was like a little
at
anger.
first I was just like not angry, but I'm like, dude, like, you know, when someone's new in a field that they never been in before, you know they're gonna fuck up a few times that first year.
Sure.
After that, I was just like, man, had it down pat. But he didn't really trust me with a crew, so he tried to switch me to service to do with customers. I'm like, bro, this is even worse. Like, why are you gonna throw me into this fire now when I don't even like.
But you learned.
Yeah,
from
and he learned from it, but see, the organization didn't. Because how are you supposed to get good, reliable, professional installers if you're not willing to put in that work to train and teach? And that can transfer over into everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not willing to show and to teach or uplift in the beginning when times are tough and deal with the mess ups, deal with cutting things at the wrong size or wrong length or something, like how are you expecting like them to be great right away? People expect people to be great right away.
Yeah, and
that's like
it's not like that. It's not like
not
that.
real.
It's not.
But that's
like
how you learn though. Like
but
that's like even when you first got into the training right away.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Trial and error type thing.
I would say up to all of the companies I've been at, like 5 companies, but the company that I'm at now has done more training prior to going into the field and or program these systems before like I even got on there. And that was like crazy because before my other companies, they would just throw you on there, kind of wash him behind you. It's like, okay, but if I'm literally only doing it one time or watching him do it one time, and I do it one time, and then I don't do it for another month or two because we're doing different stuff, fire alarms, burglar alarms, different systems, right? It's like, how am I supposed to remember that if I'm not consistently do that? But they expect you to remember that. It's like, dude, like
you're doing something.
That's great. That's hard.
You're not at a job where you're doing the same thing repeatedly. It's something new every day.
Yeah. But it also could be on me, and I could be taking the initiative. When I'm at home, I know I'm going to go to this job or know I'm going to go there. So I'm going to study up on it, kind of read some manuals or just look up some videos. But it's like I wasn't thinking like that at the time, Like I wasn't thinking, I need to be proactive in what I'm about to be doing. I was like trusting the company or organization to, properly train me. And I feel like I was blessed with like having good companies and good experienced older people around me. Like that's why older people around us, dude. That's why I want to get some older people on the older gen on the pod because they got so much valuable information that needs to be passed that shouldn't or people aren't comfortable to have those conversations.
You definitely learn a lot from them.
Yeah,
that's why I like the barbershop. It was all around grown ass men.
But they can also learn from us too. Like they can learn from younger generation
do.
too, man. And that's the misconception. Is like, the younger people are like, they're stuck in their ways, they don't know what they're talking about, versus also older generation looking at the younger generation, they haven't experienced nothing, they don't know what they're talking about. We're both saying the same thing in different contexts. So it's like, at what point do we break that chain of that that hindrance of communication. Like, what point?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
When
I
everybody
feel like I've had a
fails?
lot of experiences and a lot of different things.
Yeah, me too.
Compared to like some older people, that just been stuck here
Yeah.
their entire life. And
Stuck in the
it's
same
like,
mindset.
Yeah.
Stuck in the same mindset.
For sure, something's got to happen. Something's got to change. That's why I'm trying to be proactive and like have these conversations. With your aunts, with your uncles, with all these older people that I come in contact with. Just be myself, be fully expressive, and see what happens. They're not always going to be willing to like reciprocate, but it's an opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity for some information to be passed. Might as well try, give it a shot, right? Mm-hmm. That's cool though. I like that. I love confidence, and I think confidence needs to be in everything in order for us to succeed. Like confidence comes from that self-belief, right? With no self-belief, there's no confidence.
You gotta believe you can do it
Yeah.
in order to do it. Otherwise, if you don't believe in it in the first place, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, so it's like setting yourself up.
You gotta see the vision first. Like,
envision.
I have confidence that we can make this podcast blow up, and we won't have to work 9 to 5 the rest of our lives.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's the goal, but it's like at the end of the day, it kind of is the goal.
It is what we make it, right? It is what we manifest it or speak it into existence. It is what we speak.
Because if we have confidence, we're gonna have freedom. Well, freedom comes with confidence. Because
yeah. Versus, okay, like say if let's go back to wrestling real quick and just a quick little example. Like if I'm right before I get on the mat and I'm already thinking in my head like, I don't know if I'm gonna win. Versus me, chest out, head up, shoulders back, like, let's get it. I'm about to go crazy. 9 times out of 10, that guy who's already proactive with that mindset, with this. With that confidence behind his,
lost.
They're already beating themselves.
You already beat yourself. It's already done.
Yeah, don't beat yourself in your head prior to going up. And you're gonna have way better luck or way better chances.
So you're saying when I go to the casino, I should go in there thinking I'm
confident. Yeah, for sure. Because
I'll be going there like, man, I know I'm about to just get in my money.
Dude, honestly though, I think that does play into some things. Some people are just lucky but are confident. Yeah. They're so lucky that they're confident, or they're so confident that they're lucky. Like they always just win. It's like, damn, how do they just always win? It's because they know it within themselves. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. This ain't nothing to me.
So when you went, when you were wrestling, what's the farthest you made it? And why didn't you make it farther? Do you feel like you didn't work hard enough?
It's a good question.
Like your confidence wasn't there, or when you lost, did your confidence go down?
Man, I always had a lot of self-doubt. I always didn't have like I was good, but I didn't know that I was good. You know what I'm saying? Like my parents, my family, coaches, everything would say that I'm good, but still, regardless of all the individuals around me trying to feed my confidence was for myself was not there.
Yo.
So I had to find that through all the confidence that other people were kind of providing to me. So I would say it was after I started just winning more consistently. I was like, okay, maybe these people are right. Like maybe, and it's kind of dumb, right? Because
that's
in practice I'm going crazy and stuff like that, but I'm always doubting myself before going onto the mat. But also, people being like the weight class that I was in, people were jacked, short and stocky, bro. And I was like more solid, more like I didn't have that like bulk on me, but I was strong. I had that like inner strength, So I didn't look strong, but once I touched the guys, they were like, oh shit, this dude's kind of strong. But my opponents, bro, like, were jacked. So what are you going to think? You're going to go look at a dude, like, half naked in a singlet, bro, and he's jacked, like, and you got to go try to throw him around? Like, bro, what?
You can't base it off his physique,
Yeah, no, but that's what I did. Yeah. That's what I did, right? So half the time, though, like, probably 90% of the time, though, they got tired. They didn't have moves. They were just all, look, it's like a car with no engine. It's like a nice sports car with a nice body, clean paint job with no engine. It ain't gonna go nowhere. It ain't gonna do nothing. So if you have that inner strength build up, that engine inside you built up, you'll be able to do whatever you want, right? And be able to go accomplish whatever you might want to do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so I think it was trial and error for me, and progressing with the wins, the dubs. Dub after dub after dub, and it was like, okay, it took me a while though, bro.
Did you make it to state?
Yeah, well, I started wrestling at 6th grade all the way till senior year, and it took me about till junior, senior year to find my confidence, bro. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, I had that, and I do believe in that fake it till you make it thing, because I had that false confidence within myself. 6th grade, 7th grade, bro. Airhead, just not airhead, but like hard-headed. you know, thinking that I was like top shit, like, and then getting bodied by some older, like 7th, 8th graders, you know, crying my first match, 6th grade, bro, because my neck hurt. And my mom came up to me, she's like, do you still want to wrestle? I was like, yeah. You know, while I was crying, but like I knew that I wanted to do it because I did not want to lose again. I didn't want to go through that pain again. I wanted to get my hand raised. I wanted to succeed. And after that point, 6th grade, I think I went like undefeated or something like that because of that self-belief.
After you snapped your neck?
Dude, well, because wrestling, dude, they're always on your neck, bro.
Yeah.
That's the trick to it. Just stay on their neck because it gets tired. Like, what, your head is where everything's coming from. So if you get the, you know, if you're always dragging the head down, dude, they're not going to like, oh, dude, it's tiring.
Your neck be sore.
It's tiring, yeah. But after a while, you build that neck strength up and, I mean, yeah.
You
But it took trial and error.
guys.
It took trial and error. It took the dubs. Like I needed to see the dubs. But yeah, senior year I placed at state. What hindered me from doing better was that self-belief, dude. Like
So
I
how far
didn't
did you make
believe
it?
in myself.
You
I
made
didn't
it-
truly believe in myself. To
You
be
made it
honest
all the way
with you.
to state, right?
Yeah, I was first in sectionals, first in regionals. You know, beat out plenty of guys. You know, stopped them from going to state. Got to state. I placed 6th in state at 182. But like I was in like 3rd place, like to go wrestle for 3rd place and stuff. But like I didn't believe in myself, man. I was already happy that I got there.
Oh, so you were...
You know what I'm saying?
cool.
I was like proud of
You were
myself for
comfortable.
even getting there because I thought it was such a hard thing to reach and stuff that it's like I was okay with that. I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't need more.
You were
but like,
comfortable.
yeah, and that's the thing is like,
You passed your expectations. So
yeah, I did, and that's the thing. I was like, even to my coach after, I was like, dude, isn't this pretty good for some, you know, for me? I played soccer and wrestling. I didn't do consistent wrestling all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like bouncing back, and I was like, isn't this pretty good for somebody who, you know, hasn't been wrestling like consistently through off season and all this stuff? Like, and he was like, yeah, but imagine if you would have. And I was like, oh, you're right. You know, I was trying to already give myself the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. And
know, I
he's
was
like,
always-
he's trying to push you.
Yeah,
Like,
he did push
man,
us though. He did push us.
Don't be happy that you made it here. Be happy you won.
Yeah.
That's like the thing that Kobe said, like, when they were like, why aren't you smiling? He's like, is the job done?
Yeah, am
You
I
know, they
there
made
yet?
it. Yeah,
Am I
he's
there
like, yeah. And that's true. That's like a good ass mentality to
It
have,
is,
'cause
bro.
Honestly, you know, the race ain't done
Mm-mm.
when you were at that point, and then you realize it now.
And I could have done more. I definitely could have done more. Could have went to college with it, but had other things. You know.
But what else is there
other things.
after college wrestling? What do you go to, like?
MMA, bro, UFC.
Oh yeah, I
Could've
thought you was
been-
gonna go to like.
I
WWE.
love mixed
Could've been
martial
the
arts,
next
dude.
Kurt
Like,
Angle.
that's what I would have loved to do, but then, and there was actually an opportunity for me to go train, or to go get sponsored and train. There was a tryout that I was gonna go, and I talked to Angelica. This is when we were first having, I think my first baby, something like that. And I was
Oh,
like,
you were gonna go do it?
Yeah, I was like talking to my dad about it and everything. I was like, man, dude, this is what I've been kind of wanting. One of my dreams, because I love fighting. I love, you know, mixed martial arts and stuff. And then I was like, but that's gonna, like, how much you have to train in order to be at that level. You
Yeah,
need to
that's
sacrifice
dedication.
so much time.
Yep, that's
And
dedication.
I was more of like, I want to be with my family. I want to like actually be there to raise my kids and interact with them, and not just be gone all the time training. Like, you know, like there's sacrifices that needed to be made, and I wasn't willing to make them over my family.
Yeah, no,
you
you
know?
can definitely do one or two. I see that a lot now. It's like you're forced to choose. What do you want to do? Are you gonna be here with your family, watch them grow,
Or
or
your
are you gonna
dreams.
try to follow your
Yeah.
dream and give them a better life later on? But it's not guaranteed.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that people are scared of is like the not guaranteed part.
Yeah, they don't know, like the unknown factor after the action. Like, okay, you don't know if you're gonna succeed. You don't know if you're gonna win.
You don't know the unknown until.
Yeah, and that's what pushes people to just like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna stay on this line.
But
I'm gonna be
that- that-
content with just making it to state. I'm not gonna
That's
go
what
for
makes
first
you
or
that,
second.
The 1%.
You know?
The 1% of people.
Yeah, but
But
that mentality can be adapted and worked on and improved. You know,
Oh, for sure.
And yeah, man, and I think that's the most important part, to acknowledge that, okay, I'm here, but I can be here if I believe and put
time.
in the right necessary pieces
And
to
work a little
put
bit
that
harder.
puzzle together. Yeah,
Yep.
work harder. You know,
Work harder, think smarter.
yeah, think smarter, think more calculated. How can I set myself up like alley oop? How can I alley oop myself? And that's when I think it can transfer over to like passing your friends the ball, passing your friends confidence. Like if I'm
You need
out
to
somewhere
see-
with you guys, like building you up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I build you up, and you believe in yourself,
Then we building each other.
And then you're vice versa, reciprocating that same energy to me.
Yeah.
Now we're both about to succeed. Now we're both about to believe in ourselves, and that's when things actually start becoming. That's when things get done. You know.
It's like a franchise, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And you can alley-oop your buddies, your friends. You know, that's what I always wanted in my friend groups growing up.
Yeah, and every single successful person has a team around them.
Yeah.
And that's what you need.
Yeah.
You can't do it by yourself.
Nah, man. We're like
like
together
the pods,
people.
Everybody that comes on it is, you know,
putting something in there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like they're I forgot the words for it. They're giving to the success of the podcast.
Yeah. I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah, dude, and that's one of the things is we can all help each other. You know, we can all uplift one another, and that's what I was saying. I wanted in my friend groups growing up. Like I was always trying to be that friend that was like building their, you know, people up, but a society and influence or society kind of and where it pushed us or our generation, it wasn't like that. It was more peace your buddies. You know, peace this instead of just compliment your buddy. Compliment this. It's like setting ourselves up for failure. It's like, dude, it's like it seems like I'm the only one that believes in myself in this room. Mm-hmm. Not saying that's true, but like I'm the only one that believes in myself in this room. How am I going to truly ever going to go do something?
Yeah, how you going to grow?
Because you're going to have that doubt, bro. And that's the thing that I've been learning is like you got to get that doubt out of your heart, out of your mind, bro. The doubt's got to be gone. Those negative comments, those negative thoughts need to be gone. You need to build up a force field and a filter inside your mind to like stop all those things from coming. You can't believe those doubts, bro. Because once you believe those doubts, that's when you'll never will be.
Yeah, you can't doubt yourself.
Can't. So
you can't have that in your vocabulary.
Yeah, and on that note, let's go on to fear now. Let's go on to fear. Let's tackle fear.
Fear.
Is there? I guess let's just start off like what you're afraid of. Are you afraid of anything, or what are you afraid of right now?
I can't swim, so that's my biggest fear.
Swim?
Like,
bro, you remember when we was in your pool?
you drop me in some water.
Really?
Yeah. My whole.
Bro, he was drowning in your pool. It was 5 feet.
I just freak out.
You're just tall. You could just stand up.
I know, but I don't know. I just
sure, your mind, hinders you.
I drowned it so much, and just I don't know how I made it, but I'm like I had so many near deaths, so I'm just feared of like swimming. I'm like, we could. Everybody be like, oh, we do some like pool activity stuff. Be like, go ahead, I'm gonna do my own thing. They're like, why not? I'm like, I just fear, like so many people try to teach me how to swim, and I don't know, it's just never back down.
What hindered the teachings? What hindered that ability to understand how to swim?
You still don't know how to swim? Or you do?
Still don't know how.
Like literally, I know this sounds simple, might be kind of dumb, but like just moving your arms like this in a slow pan. Do you think it's kind of getting all anxious when you get in there, or kind of psyching yourself out before you get in the pool?
I feel like I already lose it once I already know. I'm be like, man, I'm not even gonna jump in. Like, I'm not even gonna risk it.
Did something happen when you were younger?
Man, I drowned it when I was younger too. A few times.
Is that?
Yeah, that's
why?
pretty much plays a still a part. So
Can you tell that story?
Just multiple stories.
Yeah, I feel that, bro. You don't have to. I almost drowned, bro. I almost drowned in Wisconsin.
That's just my fear. Like that's probably my biggest fear. Is
drowning.
Just drowning in the water.
It's sketch, bro.
It's like, man, I'd be like, man, I'm an adult now. I'm like, fuck, I still don't know how to swim.
He's like, I'm 6'3", bro, and I'm scared of the 4 foot. I feel that though, man, because I mean, that's trauma. Like one day, me and my girl say all the time is like one day can cause a lifetime of trauma.
Yeah.
One day, one experience can like hinder a lot of your life. You know?
No, that is true.
It's crazy to think about. It's crazy, like.
But it sits in your head, yes. Yeah, your brain.
One situation, if like say your dad or somebody yelled at you or said something so demeaning to you, in the back of your head subconsciously you're thinking, is he right? Is that true?
The bring your
now,
confidence
again,
down.
the self-doubt, bro. That self-doubt that shouldn't even be there is there because someone around you said something.
Put some negativity in your mind.
That's why it's like
just, it just eats you alive for a little bit until you fight it. Until you be like, man, that's not even true.
Yeah.
You just say it out of anger. People talk about their emotions.
Yes.
Say things that they didn't even mean because they're mad. I'm like,
most definitely, dude. And that's the thing is a lot of times jealousy can jump into there too.
Yeah.
Or being afraid of someone else succeeding and you not. Or someone else being able to do something that you might not be able to do.
That's a fear.
Could be. Jealousy stems from envy. Jealousy, yeah.
God,
look at it, make those connections, right? Where do all these things come from? Why do we feel a certain way about when someone does good? You know, it's like because
does
you
it
want to
matter?
be there.
Or does it
Because you're
matter?
not doing that.
Because you're not in that position.
Because then you
there.
can also think about it like if you're really focused on something, what other people doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Or what other people do doesn't really matter. As long as you're focused on yourself,
Yeah,
you
right.
get to where you want to be.
Yeah, and that's the sucky thing with social media too is like you see all these people doing these things,
And you
and
want
it's
to
like you're not them, so you're not going to be able to do some of these things, and that's totally okay. Find your own thing, find your own little your outlet in order to become your full expression of greatness, not someone else's. Like I can't be the best Joey. I can't be Joey. It's impossible for me to be Joey. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have your experiences, your skills, your talents. Like it's so why not in a sense not why would I look up to you, but why would I try to be something that I'm never going to be able to be?
Yeah.
You know, it's like set yourself up for failure right off the bat. It's like, you know.
You know, people have fear from other people. I'm not saying like fighting wise or anything.
Sure.
Like, say a job, for instance. I could come into a job and be really good at it, and then there'd be someone that's worked there 20 years and be like, I wasn't even good at that around that time.
Yeah.
And they have a fear like, oh, he's gonna try to. They get that little fear like, all right, he's gonna take my spot.
Yeah.
And the other person like me, I'll be like, you know, I'm confident, like I got this down.
And you trying to take his job.
But it's not even like that.
And that's like stops you from the potential reality of learning from that individual.
yeah, because they
now you're not learning from
Yeah.
them. You're only trying to you know.
But that's
Battle.
business, though. At the end of the day, like when you're doing stuff like that,
Yeah.
whatever is more beneficial for the company, because the company
Yeah.
has a fear of failing,
But
and
should
they have
that-
to hire a better, candidate for that.
Yeah.
Which would be you. So
It's business, yeah, but like it's gonna like hinder growth if you try to like wish bad about something.
'Cause how
You
the-
know, it's
well, no,
just like
I mean,
not necessarily wishing bad
Yeah.
upon them, but like being jealous about it. That's not gonna like help your business. Being jealous, like, but being like, okay, I want to be better than him. Cool. Like, and then using that
Do
as
better.
but instead of
Yeah.
like, it's like all of how you look at it and how you implement it. You know,
Yeah. What is your fear?
what is my fear, dude? What am I fearing? I'm not. That's not an easy question for me because I'm not someone that like is scared of a lot of things, But one of the things is I would say being accepted. Being accepted from accepted in my family, accepted in my friend groups, like certain things that I say because I sometimes I feel like I think differently than a lot of people, and when I say some things like I used to always question like, what are they gonna think about this or whatever, are they gonna find value in this or are they gonna make fun of me for this, like, so I would say acceptance, dude. I deal with a lot of like I want people to, because I like to accept people. I like to make people feel accepted. So maybe that is what one of my fears is, being accepted, because that's why I try to make other people feel more accepted, because I might not always feel accepted. And that could be totally distorted by my own mind. Maybe people do accept me. I mean, I am accepted in a lot of environments, but like, again, with that thing with wrestling, like it's going to take that certain time when I believe like, okay, I get it. I am accepted. People love me, So
Yeah.
I would say acceptance, man. Acceptance is something that I've always questioned. Or was afraid of, afraid of not being heard or seen.
Yeah. I feel like that's a lot of people being hurt. Nobody wants to be hurt.
No, heard.
Oh, I thought you said hurt.
Heard. Well, hurt too, but like, I mean heard. It's like I want
your voice
people
heard.
to understand what I'm trying to say. I want people to hear me because I'm willing to hear people. I'm willing to
You
understand.
want them to get the same energy back that you give to
Yeah,
them.
for sure. How about you?
Cockroaches. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Cockroaches? You guys are going.
Nah,
you guys are saying so funny. So swimming and cockroaches. I'm going deep as hell.
Honestly, it's what I have planned in my head, like of as far as like future things, is if I don't do them or later on, like, damn, why didn't you do it? That's a fear of mine.
Ooh, sure.
Is not being able to accomplish the things that I have planned. Kind of like being scared of failure, but honestly, failure is not bad. You
Failure's
learn
good.
from your experiences for that, which I have learned a lot.
But
from
if you
failing.
don't do it, you can't fail.
Yeah, that's the
Right?
thing too.
So
like,
doing it probably, that's interesting.
So like that's like one of the things. Like even with the barbershop, when I had to open up the second one, I learned a lot from there, and it was kind of cool because I failed. It didn't last. I put a lot of money into there and it didn't last. So I was like, damn.
Oh,
I don't
really?
never want to have nothing like that ever happen again. So
Where you invest in something.
it's a fear. Yeah, like if I invest everything, my time and energy and everything I have into this, is it gonna last or is it going to do good.
Sure.
As far as like numbers wise or whatever it
Yeah.
may be, or even just building Barbershop. Because now that I look at it, I'm like, man, I opened it more based off of, you know, just other people wanting a job.
Yeah.
And other people wanting to be barbers and, you know, coherent. And when I did it, nobody worked. You know, I was in the shop by myself, and I was like, yeah, bro, like,
I remember
you know,
that.
I did this, and then that's another fear of mine is like, if I opened up another shop, or if I did this, did that, how would I make sure it doesn't fail? How do I make it successful?
But I feel like you know that too now.
Oh yeah,
Going
definitely.
through all those things, I
definitely.
feel like it leads to team and people around you.
Yeah, I learned how to be more of I don't like the word boss, because I don't feel like anybody should be the boss of
like
another
we're all
individual.
equal. Yeah, we're all
so,
equal. Yeah.
I guess you can. I don't even know, because even being an owner of something, I don't like putting myself
It's a lot of
above
pressure.
people like that. You know.
Oh sure.
So like I like being equal. So like yeah, even being at the shop, and I had to show it firsthand. Like if I'm here and I own the place, then you guys should be here. You know, because I'm providing all these people for you, or whatever. Or I mean, they're providing themselves with their people. The walk-ins come in.
Yeah.
But definitely that was a fear, and when it happened, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I just invested all this for all these people, and this is how it turned out. Like, yeah, that was crazy. But then COVID happened too.
Sure, dude. No, that.
Which made it a little bit easier to shut shit down. But yeah, definitely that's a fear of mine. Is like, do I start something up again and have a chance of it failing? But in my head, I'm like, it won't fail because you're not gonna let it.
Yeah.
You know.
So
I
how
tell
do you
myself that.
deal with that self-doubt?
How do I deal with it?
What do you do? Do you tell yourself something? Is there a place you go to find like that clarity? How do you deal with that self-doubt?
How do I deal with the self-doubt? Honestly, it's just doing what you say you're gonna do, and then you just start seeing things happen. You know, yeah, stay true to your word, pretty much. If he ain't gonna show up to work, you know, I'll pick up the slack, even though I don't want to, but I'll find somebody different to pick up the slack for me when I need them to do it.
Kind of covering your grounds, almost making sure that you like there is less opportunities for failure and more opportunities for this, you know, the dubs, you know.
Yeah, not because like even at the shop, I'll be the only person in there for like the whole day on a Friday, and I'm like, man, there's like
The busiest days
10,
are sometimes
15
Friday.
walk-ins that just came in. I had to turn them all down, and then the fear is them leaving to another shop because there's like 10 shops.
Yeah,
on the
man, it's competitive.
But they were coming to this shop. You know, it's a new shop, different setting, but nobody was willing to work, and I was just like, damn, like where's the workers?
Yeah, and
You
that's
know?
maybe because they didn't have that overhead, right?
Nah,
they
honestly,
didn't know. Their money wasn't on the line. You know, they were just renting the chair, right?
And even
So
then, like
they didn't
sometimes
have-
they would complain because they weren't making money. But that's the thing is like
you got to put in.
you gotta put in the hours, you gotta put in the work, you gotta.
Like you win
If,
some,
if you
lose
want to
some.
be a barber, you gotta do it. You know, there's days you're gonna sit there. Like there was days when I was cutting hair and but I would sit there Friday and Saturday, and I cut one head, and I still had to pay rent at the end of the week, and it was like $150 at the time. And I remember I made like $170, and then I gave them $150, so I made $20 that week.
Yeah.
I was like,
what's up
like
with
this
that?
shit is not it. And I was thinking about it. The confidence had way long. I was like, man, I ain't cutting hair no more. But then the next week was like, bro, I was like, what, 14, 15, making like $700 a week, just cutting hair. You know, that's pretty good money at the time.
Yeah, that is.
But yeah, then
And building up
it
clientele,
would
so.
boost my confidence then after, you know, you start seeing shit like that. But yeah, definitely owning something that's in your name, and then failing. But you learn a lot. I definitely learned a lot from there. You know, I learned why people do what they do when they're owning a shop. You know, you have to go up to people and be like, do you got rent money? Because otherwise people forget.
Sure.
They don't really forget, but they're like, nah, he'll come up to me and ask me for the rent money. And then you got to deal with other people's issues when you own a shop. So like, say you guys work for me, and then all of a sudden, like for instance, Big crashed his car or whatever. Now he's like, hey, I can't pay rent this week because you know, I have to buy a new car. So then you gotta, you know, at the end of the day, he still got to pay, or you can work something out with him as an owner. You know, look out, maybe be like, you know what, I'll give you a couple weeks or whatever. Figure your situation out, but then you gotta learn how not to be taken advantage of for sure.
Yeah, there's like a sweet balance in between that because you don't want people to just walk all over you, but you also want to you want to be liked, right?
You don't want to be
like
things.
yeah, where people are like doing stuff behind your back or being fake to you because they don't like you. It's like
And that's one of the hardest things.
Hard, right?
Because like me personally, I feel like like if all right, so when I work in here, like I pay him, he would never have to ask me for money ever. Like I don't know, I just feel like that's a man characteristic. Like you shouldn't have to ask another man who owes you to pay you. You know, because as a man, you know you owe that man, so you pay him. So like at the shops, I mean, everybody different. That's just my opinion.
Sure, no,
You
I
know,
understand. I get it.
In the shop, you'd have to go up to people, and I hate asking people like, "Hey, you got that for me?" Like,
Sure,
it feels
'cause
like
it's uncomfortable.
it's an uncomfortable feeling.
It's like you're asking them for something when they are actually
like,
owing you.
yeah, it's like, hey, you got rent money, and then all the time, it was always excuses at the shop. It was like, oh no, I ain't got it, you know, something had happened or whatever. I'm like, all right, well, just hit me when you got it, and then it would be a continuing thing. I'm like, bro. So then you know you gotta get rid of people and then firing people that really ain't. I'm not the type of person that just, hey, you're fired. You know, you gotta actually
give them a benefit of the doubt almost.
Yeah, so then but then it's, at the same time you can't have that personality like you said where you get ran over. And that was something that I kind of like learned a lot, was like seeing why other barbers were doing what they would do as far as owners. Like barbers would come up, hey, you got my rent money? I understand now why they do that,
Yeah.
Compared to when I owned it, I would be in there, but I wasn't hard on the guys because I was just cool, I'm a young owner, I'm learning. Even from the first shop that we had, the first MK, it was 3 of us, but we were all cool, everybody's mature, everybody's a team already, rather than building a new shop where it's like, it's all new guys, you gotta build the team chemistry, and then some people don't like each other, and then that's their excuse of like, oh no, I'm not paying because of whatever, but.
And work ethic too.
Yeah.
Showing up on those Fridays, Saturdays, even when they don't have cut scheduled. You gotta put in that work, dude.
Crazy.
So what kind of things would you look for now in like hiring a crew? Like if you were like putting together a team to open up a barbershop, what kind of things would you look for in these individuals?
Right now would be, if I'm gonna do a shop, I do like older barbers that are a little bit more mature. Nobody that's really building a clientele as far as them being older and they've been in the game. And young clientele, like younger guys that are just starting. You kind of want to build them, show them the different
See the drive in there.
Yeah, so then they're hungry. They want it, so they'll be there, and you teach them to be there. Like you tell them your stories. Like, yeah, I was sitting here. There might be days where you're discouraged about cuts, and you just get through it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you go home. That's what you do, and then tomorrow's a new day, so you start over. But yeah, definitely. If I was doing a shop, it'd definitely be like maybe 2 consistent people that have a clientele, and then like 2 people that are fresh, or even 1 and then bring another one to let them build a clientele. Because then that's another thing. You have too many barbers that know everybody's fighting for walk-ins, and then that becomes an issue too. I've seen it too, where I've seen barbers take another client out the chair because they were smoking cigarettes. So they're like, hey, come to my chair. I'll cut you right now, because the other person was taking a break.
And then they come in
and it's so ugly. Yeah, it's like they get mad and they come to you complaining. It's like, bro, like, yeah, that was wrong.
That is kind of tough, dude.
Yeah, he shouldn't have done it, but yeah. Dang. But yeah, back to the fear thing. That is a fear, like, just doing something with your name on it and it failing, and you're not able to get it back or succeed. But yeah, definitely, just.
Okay, cool.
With your name on it, not,
for sure.
Not being successful.
Okay, I get that. Now, let's divert that a little bit. Like, say you had a son, and he was trying to go do something. What kind of, what kind of advice would you give him? Like, if he wanted to go do something, I don't want to think of anything specifically because it might, hinder the thought process behind it. But if your son came up to you and was like, "Yo, pops, I'm trying to do this," like, you got any words of like encouragement or words of like, what do you think? Both of you too. You can answer this too.
Damn,
honestly, it all depends on.
Because hypothetically speaking, if you had sons,
it's honestly depends on the field he wants to do. Like, say if he wants to do this specific field or something, I'll just be like, hey, I know somebody that works in that field. I could give you some words of encouragement, but he could teach you. Like,
sure.
He could teach you because he's the professional in this type of field, and this is what you want to do. I'll get on the phone, network, get my son in here connected, be like, hey, he wants to learn this, You think you can help me out? Or you think you can help us out? Because I don't know too much. This is typically you.
So it's like, how do you teach somebody something you don't know?
Shit,
without pointing them to someone that might know.
Hey, just go for it.
You go for it. You just
I mean, there's really. I mean, you can encourage somebody, but at the end of the day,
if they
in
want to do
reality,
it, they
what
want
it
to.
is like, do it.
Just keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. Do
Yeah,
it.
just do it. Like, because if you don't do it, you're not gonna learn, or you're not gonna know. You know. And if I know nothing about it, yeah, just take that chance, take the shot.
Yeah,
you only
right.
got one life, so if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it.
That's what I would say too.
You know,
Take
just do
those
it.
chances, bro.
Every chance, because you never know what it can open. Even if it doesn't go good for you, you know you tried and
you know it didn't work for you. Maybe it's not for you, and you learn that it's not, and then now you're diverting your energy towards something that's actually
do it and
fitted for you.
Do it and just don't be disappointed. You know.
Yeah.
Like if anything bad happens, but then the best thing is if something good happens, you weren't disappointed either.
Yeah, true.
Positive came out of it.
You learn from everything, good or bad.
It's like Conor McGregor too. Like he loses. Like I don't lose. Like he just learns. Like that's such a beautiful mentality to have. You know, to like not be able to lose.
Yeah, because some people say that they don't take a loss as a loss. It's a lesson. It's a new way that you just learn. How did he beat me? You know, just like you for wrestling. Like when you were wrestling, you didn't lose. You just learned. Like, damn, he was good.
Yeah.
You know, I underestimated him.
Right.
So how can I beat him now?
Yeah, man. And on that note, I had to wrestle this one dude from Bradley Tech like 3 or 4 times, and he was the one that actually ended up getting second place to me to go to state. But I had to wrestle him 3 or 4 times, so I had to wrestle him differently every single time.
Oh yeah, because then
he was so good, right? But I couldn't use the same moves or certain things that might have worked last time.
Yeah,
because he knows it's coming now, or he knows this, so I had to like switch up my game each time, bro. And he was learning me. That's the thing is like as I'm learning him,
he's learning you.
He's learning me, you know. And so the last match, one of the last matches we had, it was kind of nuts because he knew that like I had real good stamina. That like if he let me go into later rounds, like I'm still gonna be coming at him. So he needs to get me early, and he also knew my upper body, like throwing and stuff like that, it wasn't like excellent, you know. Like I could defend, but like I wasn't the best at like upper body and throwing and stuff like that's more like Greco, like where you're like upper body, like you're throwing people and stuff like that. But he was the thrower right away. Blows the whistle, comes under my arms, grabs me and like launches me right away, dude. I'm like, damn. I'm on my back, dude. Now I'm fighting, and it's first 30 seconds of the match. Now I'm fighting off my back, not to lose, to a dude that I beat already 2 times.
And you're getting exhausted a little bit.
And you're fighting here, you're getting exhausted because you're fighting to get off your back. But after he tossed me, dude, and I didn't get pinned. Like I didn't get pinned very easy, so I like flipped around. But now I was like down 3-1 or 4-1. Maybe even 5-1, 2 for the takedown, 3 for the near fall. So it was 5-1 because I escaped. So you get 1 point for escape. And 5. So it was 5-1. Now I had to go against this dude the whole time. Now I need to catch up. So now I'm not winning, dude. I'm losing, dude. Like, but that also gave me that like drive because like I went hard, bro. The rest of the match, I was like, I know I'm down. I know I got to take this dude down. I know I got to get points on him. Ended up coming back and beating him by like 1.5 to 4 or 6 to 5 or 6 to 4 or something like that. Something crazy. That was like one of my favorite matches ever, and I almost lost. I almost got
learn from that,
pin, dude. You know, but that pushed me in that moment. I was like, oh, okay, I just need to get up and keep trying. I like just think if I would have just given up when I was on my back. You know, it's like so to find that drive and to find that fire inside you and to go forward with it. Is the secret, man. You know, you got to find that drive within yourself. What drives you? What drives like us? What are we trying to do? In that moment, I was trying not to get pinned. So how do I need to not get pinned right now?
Yeah, what do you do?
Which is important to have our minds within that moment and not thinking elsewhere because
once it's elsewhere, it's all said and
you
done.
might as well just wrap up what you're doing. Because you're not even focused on what you're doing right now.
Yeah. And it's crazy because everything can relate. And anything you do from wrestling to just a mindset.
Everything.
Doing this, you know.
Everything's connected to it, and everything's there for us to learn and understand and to evolve and adapt. You know, it just depends on how you perceive it. How do you take it? If somebody ditches you or a friend does you bogus, are you gonna hold resentment towards that person all the rest of the or resentment towards that person or friendships in general, and hinder your potential reality to create more friendships that are actually genuine and uplifting? You know, which now, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do with that? Are you gonna like look at it like Debbie Downers, bro? Are you just gonna be negative, or are you gonna look at all the positives that are right here? Like right now, like say if you crashed your car. Damn, my car. But at least I'm like breathing, bro. At least I got my limbs. Because there's some people that don't make it through car crashes. Or there's some people that kids don't come home because of car crashes. But you made it through a car crash. You know what I'm saying? So that like knowing of like, okay, man, the appreciation.
Yeah,
comes from appreciation.
You just see the little things in life. Like second time I got my car crashed, I was just like, man, I'm glad I'm not hurt, I'm alive. I'm like, man, I'll get a new car.
Yeah,
I ain't worried about it. I was like,
car's replaceable. My body and my limbs
never replaceable.
until the future, until we get robotic limbs and stuff. But that ain't here yet. Maybe it is. I don't know. But
say one day.
It's appreciation, bro. You know, I was appreciative
of
being on my back because I was in that moment. I appreciated it so that I was like, I appreciated not. So I appreciated it to the point of I didn't want to be there again. I was like, okay, cool. I'm here, but I'm not here anymore. Now let's never get thrown on my back again. Let's never get thrown on my back. Let's find out how I can avoid those
how do I maneuver
circumstances. And yes, that can transfer into life. Like whatever that may be. Oh, this thing blew up in my face. How can I next time not allow this to blow up? Or that relationship didn't work. How can I be a better version of myself in this relationship to get that to work or to flourish or be more of myself? You know, or work or school or career, whatever that may be. How can I learn what I didn't have or what I didn't do and adapt and grow and overcome? I think it's important. I think it's important to have that kind of mentality, bro. Or else what? I mean, it's tough. It's tough though, man, right? Because there's so many things that are got us down and out. There's so many things pointed against us. You know, that it's like.
But that's how you prosper.
That's how you that's how you have the potential chance to prosper. And you look at it like, okay, man, I ain't gonna let this get me down. I'm about to overcome this. This ain't got no hold on me.
Hell yeah.
You know, like this can't do nothing to me.
No, that's why
you know what I'm saying? It's that knowing inside you.
You keep doing it. Until you are
keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Yep,
that's a bet.
Keep doing it.
That's awesome, bro. How you guys feel? You guys feel good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, bet. This was
that was a good one.
All talks of life, bro. Confidence and fear. Confidence comes from within. Fear also comes from within. Organize that and understand that within yourself in order to overcome these obstacles and experiences that you might be coming in. Because we're always gonna be put in situations where we have the potential chance to lose
all the time. The rest
so
of
make
our
sure
lives.
you win, baby. Make sure it's a winning mentality and not like it's even a chance to like we're not losing, right? We're learning.
We're learning.
Yeah, we're learning. Never a loss.
We're learning, bro. We're learning every day.
You're learning to win.
We out.